There's a very famous question now in regards of what is the best time or the earliest time for lighting the Shabbat candles. Halachot Nerot Shabbat. So we'll start from the earliest and we'll progress to the best. Halakha explains that we cannot light the Shabbat candles too early before Shabbat. Why? Because then they're not recognizable to be lit in honor of Shabbat. It's as if I'm lighting lights or lighting a candle in my house on Friday. So it has to be relatively close to Shabbat for everyone to know that these candles are lit lichvot Shabbat in honor of Shabbat. Now, good, that makes sense. Now, what's that time? If you want to you have to quantify it literally for halakha, how does it work? So halakha explains that the earliest time to light the Shabbat candles in honor of Shabbat is miplag hamincha, from this time called plag hamincha, which comes out to be an hour and 15 minutes, halachic minutes, sha'os maniot, prior to sunset. There's a machloket, is it sunset, is it tzedek kochavim? The halacha Rabbi Chaim explains that it's prior to sunset, like the Gaon Mevilna, and that would be the earliest time that you can light these Shabbat candles, because at that point on, it can be recognizable that it's still in honor of Shabbat. Now, on this note, if someone does light it this early on, he still must accept Shabbat right away with the lighting, because it's early enough away from Shabbat that if I light it, I go back to do melacha, people will assume that, oh wait, it wasn't for Shabbat. So anyone who lights from this plag mincha and on must accept Shabbat with that lighting. Now, why is this unique? Because many Ashkenazim thought or hold that any time they light the Shabbat candles, they're accepting Shabbat. And for us Sfaradim, it's not the case. A woman is allowed to light the Shabbat candles and go and turn off and turn on more lights after that, because she doesn't accept Shabbat when she lights. She accepts Shabbat when she accepts Shabbat, either when the husband says Kabbalah Shabbat or when she says to herself, okay, now I'm ready to accept Shabbat. So that's important to note in terms of the earliest time. Now, what about the ideal time? Or if someone lit too early, if someone lit before this Plag HaMincha, then she must turn it off and relight the candles. Now, Rav Ovadia explains, don't make a baracha again, because safek brachot lakel, you don't want to make extra brachot if they're not needed. So if you lit before this Plag HaMincha, she has to turn off the candles and relight them without a beracha. Now, the minhag across all of Yerushalayim for the Sfaradim and Eretz Yisrael is that candle lighting time for them is 20 minutes before sunset. In New York, our minhag is 18 minutes before sunset. 2 minutes doesn't really make a difference, but that's the minhag for the Sfaradim, also here in New York. Ashkenazim and Yerushalayim have a minhag that they accept Shabbat 20 minutes more than us, 40 minutes before sunset. Rav Ovadia writes many times, many places, that the minhag has never been like that for the Sfaradim, and the Sfaradim minhag is for candle lighting time for women to be 20 minutes before sunset. Now, if someone is running late past the candle lighting time, what can they do? Are they allowed to light? So the whole concept of candle lighting, that it's 20 minutes before sunset, is because there's a mitzvah to add michol ala kodesh, to add tosefet Shabbat from the mundane, make it kodesh. So therefore, we encourage women to light candle lighting time 18 minutes before sunset here in New York. If she's running late, Rabbi Chaim and Rav Ovadia explained that ideally before 5 minutes before sunset, she should make sure to light the candles. Now, if someone is really running late, on condition that they know with complete certainty that it's not yet sunset, she may light even 1 or 2 minutes before sunset, but that's very risky. Rav Ovadia writes that if she doesn't know what time is sunset and she's thinking it could be any minute, she's not allowed to light, and it's better for her to sit in Shabbat in the darkness than for God forbid to come and desecrate Shabbat chas v'shalom. So the halacha, the candle lighting we hold as Sephardi Jews in Yerushalayim is 20 minutes. In New York, the minhag is 18 minutes. No problem. You can enter that time zone as long as you finish and light the latest would be 5 minutes before Shabbat, because at that point on, you still want to add to Shabbat, and you want to make sure there's no, God forbid, rounding error with the watches, that you think it's not sunset, but it actually is. Because Hashem, we should continue to fulfill the mitzvah of Shabbat in the best way.